did Dragon Ball Super just make Popo's pecking order real / canon? Because when Popo looked at Vegeta in this episode, it wasn't just the fact he said, "You broke the time chamber, don't do it or you're banned." It was the fact that Popo had a zoom in on his face, his eyes, which was exactly similar to what Team 4 Star does with Popo. Because I feel like if you watch Dragon Ball Super, you probably have heard about, Team 4 Star, Dragon Ball Abridged. I mean, it's common sense. It's a big thing. I mean, if you're into Dragon Ball Z, you've heard about Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and if you haven't watched it, what the fuck you doing? Stop this video, don't even come back, go watch Team 4 Star all day, because that's a good YouTube channel, and just great people that make that and work on that. But basically, when you had that zoom in on Popo's eyes, I was like, yo, whoa. I know for a fact that Team 4 Star edits quite a bit, and when they do the zoom in on Popo's eyes, that's mainly just them editing that to make Popo look creepy. But when I saw the zoom in this episode, I'm like, what? Did Popo just straight up have, like, a Popo moment from Team 4 Star? But I know for a fact, when it comes to the history of Toei Animation and Team 4 Star, I know Toei Animation doesn't really like Team 4 Star, because they've had a lot of beef with them in recent months, actually. Their entire channel got taken down and stuff, but it's back, thankfully. But, I mean, I know Toei doesn't really like them much. So, I'm kind of curious about that, but that straight up screamed Team 4 Star in that moment. Hopefully, it wasn't just me that was thinking that when I saw this episode. But then, let's not just stop there. Let's also talk about the situation with the magical girl. Like, oh my god, like, my eyes, my freaking eyes, like, oh my god, like, I straight up, when I was seeing this pretty girl and all that, I'm like, oh my, like, we have a pretty fighter, she's gonna go in and start destroying people in the future Tournament of Power. I was pretty excited. I'm like, holy crap, this is a cool looking character, not just because she's pretty, just the design and all that, looked like a good character. All of a sudden, this character starts doing a magical girl dance and stuff, I'm like, oh no. And then she starts doing it, and then she starts getting beefcake, and I'm like, no, like, that was horrifying, like, my eyes in that moment when she transformed and all that. I'm like, when you turn into a magical girl, you're supposed to look cute, not atrocious. Now, don't get me wrong, I know beauty is subjective, it depends on your viewpoint and your taste, but my god, like, no. I think we probably have found Master Roshi's opponent. Let's be real here, because let's look at what Master Roshi said in this episode, which by far was one of the most shocking moments of this episode. Now, don't get me wrong, there was great parts to this episode, like funny moments and stuff like, the Popo pecking order stuff. But the big thing about this episode, one of the most serious moments that really caught me by surprise, was development Master Roshi is getting. Now, many might look at that scene and think it's just there for a joke or a gag, which some part, half of it may be for that. Maybe at the end of the day, it is for that. Regardless, though, as we've seen from, like, this arc, all the previous episodes and stuff, all these characters that have come back into the spotlight, they have developed. They got characterization, they've changed, proving that they want to move on and actually become stronger, not be like they once were. And we've seen this with Krillin, we've seen this with 17, multiple characters throughout this arc, even Gohan and all that. So when you look at this, I wonder if Master Roshi saying he wants to overcome his perverted mind was actually hinting at development. Now, this is the big thing here. Master Roshi without a perverted mind is a really scary thought, because thinking back on this character, thinking back on Master Roshi, he is like a staple for that perverted old man type trope. He is. I mean, when you think about perverted characters in Shonen, you think of Master Roshi usually. And I remember growing up watching Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and seeing Master Roshi doing some perverted stuff. And honestly, it was just a part of his character, but he had this side to him to where he was just a badass. He would go in and start destroying people in Dragon Ball. Not too much in Dragon Ball Z, but in Dragon Ball. And I always, was wondering, like, if he didn't have that little attribute about him, how strong would he be? Would this man be ridiculous if he actually trained more, but also if he didn't have that side to him, which is kind of a crucial weakness. It's a flaw in his character. It's a character flaw. And him admitting that in this episode is just, whoa. Because he actually admitted that it was a flaw. He admitted it, even if it was for a joke or whatever, for that given moment, just to have a laugh because, Master Roshi wanted to look at a woman. The point stands is he straight up admitted it was a flaw. He wants to overcome his perverted mind. And I'm like, whoa. Master Roshi just admitted that. He wants to overcome that, which that's not something you're just going to overcome in a day. It's not. You're not just going to overcome something like that, because that's ingrained into his very person. You just don't get over something like that. And so, I'm like, if he can overcome that, oh my god, like, that would be a major step in the right direction for Master Roshi's character, but it doesn't just stop there, though. I feel like the character that transformed into the Magical Girl, like I was talking about earlier, I feel like she is going to be the opponent Master Roshi's going to fight, because, remember, Master Roshi, girls and all that, he gets very perverted, and since she looks beautiful in her untransformed state, I feel like Master Roshi's going to have that problem, you know, perverted mind, but then she's going to transform, and then all of a sudden, he's going to just feel nothing. He's like, oh, okay, let me beat the crap out of you. I feel like that's how Master Roshi's going to react to that character. I feel like the way this character was introduced in this episode, when Master Roshi's saying something like that, is kind of pairing these two up as potential fighters. For instance, them going at each other in the Tournament of Power. Now, besides all of that, let's talk about also the Beerus moment, too, with, you know, talking about Boo, which I felt very funny, because what Beerus said was exactly what everybody's basically been saying about Boo since the whole reveal with, you know, what's going to happen in the future episodes. Don't want to dive too deep into spoilers, because, yeah, I don't want to spoil anyone that hasn't seen the spoilers for the upcoming episodes. But basically, though, with Beerus stating that, like, he's falling asleep again. Didn't he do this last time? He's like, why is he always being a pain in my ass? I'm like, yo, like, Beerus saying something like that's like confirming what us, the viewers, have been saying the past couple weeks. Like, are you serious, Boo? Are you freaking serious? Like, you fall asleep again when you have a moment to shine, be in the spotlight, you just fall asleep. I was like, are you serious? Everybody's been basically saying that. And with Beerus saying that, it kind of like confirms with the fandom, like, holy crap, Beerus is agreeing with us. He understands. So I do like that aspect of, you know, this episode, Beerus saying something like that. But then, let's also talk about the other fighters, too. So there's other universes and stuff that are, you know, gathering, you know, their own individual fighters, and they're not as lucky as Goku, probably, because they're having to go all across the galaxy, meet people they've never even spoken with, just to be able to form a group. And that's basically what was going on for most of the episode, besides the scenes I've already talked about. You have it to where Frost meets Hit, which, oh my god, that was a great moment. Probably... Okay, I like the Master Roshi stuff, but the Frost to Hit stuff also got me hyped, because just seeing Hit staring at Frost is like trying to be shady and use his poison needles and stuff to attack Hit, and he's still being crusty as ever. That was a great moment, a lot of tension there, and I just like how Hit didn't really attack back, and he's like, hey, you know, you need to join me, you need to fight for our universe and all that. So I'm very excited about that. I was really excited about the moment, because I like Hit, I like Frost. Yes, even though Frost is technically a knockoff Frieza, I still like Frost. I do. I just like the design of the character, and even though he's a knockoff Frieza, he's basically like a crustier version, because the way he fights, his combat style. So, besides that universe, we also have the stuff going on with Kaba and all that. We have, you know, the other Saiyans, which was actually in the preview for next week's episode, because Kaba didn't really get the spotlight in this episode, but I want to talk about it regardless, because it was in the preview. So, in the preview, it shows that Kaba is teaching, you know, the two new female Saiyans how to transform into a Super Saiyan, and we see some form of, like, anger and jealousy going on, I think, with Kel in the preview, and so I'm pretty excited to see what's going on there, and I mean, it might kind of reflect what we see when Kel transforms into a Super Saiyan, because we remember when we saw the trailer to Dragon Ball Super's latest arc here, we remember the female Broly. Everybody was jumping for joy, like, holy crap, female Broly! Everybody was just talking about it, and most likely the female Broly transformation, what we saw, might be related to whatever's going on with Kaba and Khalifa in next week's episode. So, pretty excited about that. And, oh yes, another thing that needs to be noted is that we have our first female Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball canon. Super Saiyan. Yes, I know we've had female Super Saiyans recently with games and stuff with Dragon Ball, but I don't necessarily count that, because it's not technically canon. But for the first time in the anime series, or manga or whatever, but it's in the anime first, we have a female Super Saiyan. Official female Super Saiyan. That is freaking awesome. It really is awesome to see a female Super Saiyan for the first time, because I always felt like I wanted to see one. I wanted to see a female transform. I wanted to see, like, Pan and GT transform. I know we don't want to talk about GT. I understand why. But still, I wanted to see Pan. When I was growing up as a kid watching GT, I wanted to see Pan transform into a Super Saiyan, but it never happened. I'm like, what the hell, GT? Why? You're wasting potential here. And I'm just glad to see that in next week's episode, because that means that if Dragon Ball Super wants to carry on past the end of Z, you know, with Oob and all that, we might see Pan transform into a Super Saiyan, which would be really cool. I wonder what type of design she would have if she did transform. So yeah, basically the latest episode of Dragon Ball Super was really fun, had a lot of great moments, introducing some of the characters in the universes. Oh yes, another thing I need to mention. Gowasu. That man straight up recording the video for views while his universe is on the line. Like, the man is recording videos. He's like, I want to record this and all that. Like, I gotta get these views for GodTube. I'm like, oh my god, like, this man Gowasu is killing me right now. Just the way the man was just sitting there recording the video. His universe is in jeopardy. It's basically GG because his fighters look atrocious. So this man just sitting there recording videos. He's like, you know what, if I'm gonna die, I'm just gonna get good on GodTube. I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, besides all of that, great episode. Can't wait to see what happens next. I'm pretty excited for the female Super Saiyan next week. Let me know your thoughts. Please be safe. Chibi out.